before. Let's just do it again.
I don't care who shows up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are in the draft. We can talk heroes here. Before we head into these bans, I do want to get some quick numbers you guys' way, because I was mostly surprised that both of these teams do like their Snapfire, or maybe I should say liked their Snapfire. Snapfire is actually the second most picked hero this minor so far, but only a 21% win rate. This is very sad.
Who's the first picked hero?
Oh, it is Rubik.
Ah,
But Rubik is
close.
sitting on a clean 50%
Perfectly
win rate.
balanced.
Yes.
Ancient should be up there, right?
Ancient, 83%
yeah.
win rate, 12 picked, and he's a fourth most picked hero.
And now when the Ancient is banned out, also a hero that you have to think about is a Timbersaw. And there you go, the last ban of Team Aster is exactly that. Chen is still in the pool for Alliance if they wanted, but Rubik is definitely something they love.
It was, I think, a big reason why Alliance was able to close out that game against Gambit not too long ago today. Hanskin on that hero is just another level. Like, he doesn't even need to see what he can steal. He knows he'll have a good game on it.
The post-game statistics on that last game versus Gambit were hilarious. Hanskin was the most kills on his entire team. I saw his picture ahead of Nico Baby and Limp, and he had the fourth most hero damage in that game.
He stole so many Lich's ultis there, like 2 or 3 super effective ones. If you're Aster, the Oracle is in the pool, and if Oracle is in, it opens up your game quite a lot. Nyx Assassin as well is right up there. That these heroes are left remaining. Chen is also still in the pool. There is an abundance of heroes that you can choose from.
Yeah, their Shaman also wasn't banned out.
Yeah.
Alliance instead. Yeah, so Alliance, they ban out a bunch of offlane flexes.
Nyx Assassin and Snapfire instantly picked together.
Yep.
I mean, Nyx Assassin is just this hero that allows you to not care about possible ODs and heroes such as that Lash tracks, perhaps. It's just a good hero to block many cores, and also it's just a good hero on its own.
Out of the 3 victories that Snapfire has seen this tournament, it was twice that Baboka was in control. So at least
they know how to win with her.
Yes, they do.
Actually, it's very easy for me to know Aster statistics. They have won with
Every
hero that they played.
100% win rate.
100% win rate.
We have seen, I'm most excited to see Fate on the Nyx Assassin again. We saw them actually in the first game of the tournament, and he just was everywhere. He was all over the place. Absolute MVP. So I think we didn't really get to talk too much about the player matchups, but Hanskin versus Fade, for me, that is the most exciting battle that I think we're gonna see on screen.
Omni Knight.
That is an Omni Knight.
That's very interesting that they pick it as the 10th pick. Usually you pick something that you can protect with your next couple of bans. Perhaps they will do exactly that with some bans such as Razor, but Omni Knight makes you wonder that this draft is well rehearsed, something well prepared. It's not just a reactive draft.
And they're still hiding stuff. I think out of all the hard dispel heroes like Abaddon and Legion and Oracle, maybe not Oracle, but I think Omni reveals the least.
That's the Razor ban instantly after the Omni pick.
So leaning maybe towards a melee core?
It's just for the Omni Knight lane overall. You ban out the Razor when you have Omni Knight because you don't want to play that lane, first and foremost. But then Razor is just very flexible, like you said. If you have a melee core, he can suffer too.
10 seconds remaining. Alliances.
We've agreed that both of these teams are kind of playing on a 4 protect 1 strategy, right?
Not necessarily. Before Alliance was that, but not anymore.
But not today.
Not today, at least.
Okay. But they will still probably prefer to pick Nico Baby's hero as one of the last ones, because this specific game, it is Aster that has last overall pick.
That's what's strange, because usually if they're picking Nico Baby's hero, they can also do it as 10th pick and then protect it with the next 2 bans, right? But this time they opted to go for something different. They get the Omni Knight and they are protecting him instead with the Razor ban.
I think part of it is because Aster, unlike many of their other Alliance's previous opponents, is just not really banning out Nico Baby, aside from now with the Slark, but none of the first phase bans were
Alliance
targeted.
banning the Medusa.
Own Medusa!
Yeah. Okay, Aster is confused.
We got 5 bans in this phase? We got 3 bans in this phase? Yeah.
That's nice.
I don't know what they're particularly concerned about with a Medusa on the side of Aster.
10 seconds remaining.
They just don't want to get Medusa in return. If they don't plan on picking it themselves, maybe they felt
When
like
you-
it could have been a good fit for Aster still too.
So when you have a Nyx assassin, going for Medusa becomes a little bit easier, I suppose. That's one of the reasons. You also have two heroes that are able to prolong the game a bit longer. Snapfire is very good when it comes to wave clearing and just split pushing. It's one of those rare position 5s that can just easily clear waves. So overall, Medusa is fine for anyone, as the hero is just very strong at the moment. But Morphling, PL, left in the pool, Slark banned out. We have seen one game where Slark has won versus Morphling, so...
And picking Morphling like inherently bans out some other cores like Lifestealer. You never
Yep.
want to go into that matchup.
Yeah, also Ancient Apparition has been banned out, so...
A hero that we've seen not before today, but today already twice, Dragon Knight on the side of Alliance. Do you guys feel like that is even up against the Morph? Because Morph can't copy Dragon form, and that's kind of the reason why you, like, if you were to copy Dragon, that's why you want to have it, right?
They played that already. They did the exact play against Morphling. I believe they had Dragon Knight, and one of the better things about Dragon Knight is also the Blink Dagger stun initiation. And there we go.
Hey!
There we go, the big bad boy. I like it. One of...
I don't normally see a lot of people getting excited by an ogre pick, but
Ogre,
it definitely
ogre.
is
Nah,
excited.
it's not... It's one of the heroes I can play.
Yeah, is Midas still viable on a Blizzard? You got that Arcana?
All right, they
there's
go
the
with the.
puck.
So if you're picking the Morphling while you have Nyx Assassin, OD can't be picked against you. Perhaps Alliance will think about going for that OD, but it's very difficult decision to make because you're picking it into a counter. And Puck is another hero that's good versus Morphling, but now they snatch that away. Puck is also good versus OD in case they decide to pick it in the end too. But Dragon Knight is now a real option for them.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, Puck's just good at discouraging any of these assassination type heroes that like to take advantage of the Morphling. As we saw in the last game versus Gambit, it seemed like the Slark was always able to jump on top of the Morphling. Not that Slark's a possibility this time, but these heroes that can sneak up on Morphling when he's low agi, Puck is the Dream Coil and Silence makes that extremely difficult.
That we should have seen that coming.
We should?
With the Puck pick, we definitely should have seen the TA an option for as an option for an alliance. Razor is banned out as well.
Has XXS played any Puck, Shiver?
They have played
This tournament?
This tournament?
they have played Puck on 4 for sure.
Yeah, on 4,
Yeah.
yes, but not on XXS.
Well,
not
I
this
don't,
tournament
I don't
anyway.
want to turn Snapfire or Nyx into a 3, though.
Yeah,
That's
that-
my problem.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Nyx can be, but probably not your
Probably
best
not.
option to do that.
Also, the time that Chuan played Puck mid, it was actually up against Aster. It was also a lane that he ended
wait,
up
up
losing
against
against Limp
Alliance?
Shadow. Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
yeah, against Alliance. It was that he played against Limp Shadow Fiend, and he didn't really win the lane, but they still ended up winning the game. So
This could be something like a Death Prophet for Alliance coming up as the last pick. Nico Baby Death Prophet with Omni Knight. It's a good silence versus Puck and Morphling overall. You have some issues if they blow you up fast with Nyx and Morphling, but you do have Omni Knight as well on your side. So
Yeah, and
Would
it
be
was
decent.
the last time that Limp played the Templar Assassin. Who was the I think it
Nico Baby played the Death Prophet.
was the Death Prophet that time? Yeah, so
I'm not sure if was it that. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so they proved that they were willing to allow Limp to win the game
Yeah.
on the Templar Assassin and put Nico Baby on not the most important hero that we've been stressing throughout all these panels.
The only question is, do you want Ogre to be bloodlusting the Death Prophet? Probably not.
no, you want a bloodlusting it through a Dragon Knight, maybe.
Yeah.
There's Faces Void ban. I mean, they are really like the last 3 bans, really targeting Nico Baby, knowing that that's still a hero that they need. And overall, last pick is going to Aster. They need an offlaner, most likely, right? Ooh, the Ricky coming out.
Ricky from Alliance. It was Aster that managed to win versus Alliance's Ricky earlier. It was with the Terrorblade, however. And that Terrorblade, Sty Armor, Illusions, messes with Ricky way too hard. This time around, you're playing Ricky into Puck and Morphling, and it looks much better.
There's a Huskar ban, so it seems like Alliance is assuming that the last pick for Aster is still going to be a mid one.
I don't think that necessarily has to be the case. They're just protecting the TA, but considering Puck is pretty bad versus TA, we'll see if Aster adapts to that.
I really hope that they are asking XXS, do you know how to play puck?
Yeah.
Because even though it's not a great lane against Ricky, I just think that in the game that Limp won on Templar Assassin, he was the deciding factor. Granted, Ricky is a much harder carry than Death Prophet was, and so Nico Baby will have a more significant impact.
So if you're thinking about mid, what are we thinking about? Viper? Viper, and what other hero really counters TA that hard? There's also an option to go for something like, oh, all
They
right.
take the Death Prophet.
That is a Death Prophet. I do want to say that XXS has played Puck last 19 days ago, 24 games, but with a win rate of 33%. That's not that great.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This looks very much in style of Aster that we have seen from the playoffs, from the group stages. They're playing reactionary.
Improvisation.
Improvisation with their carry obviously being the win condition, as Triple C on that Morphling. And now we have a Death Prophet, but with the Limp's smile.
Yeah.
I'm worried for them.
No, the Templar Assassin pick was excellent, and I'm glad that Aster are going for this contingency plan to not make the puck go mid. I just don't know how good it will be, because we don't have any statistics on XXS aside from pub statistics, and I don't know if 33% is very encouraging to
No.
me.
In pubs, definitely not for a pro player.
No, I
But
think that was esports profile.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
so unprofessional. That's even more discouraging, man. Maybe he was clowning around in pubs, but now he's playing for real. All right, I think I'll lean Alliance for game one. I like the Templar Assassin. I think that was a big factor. Omni Knight is always so difficult for me to go against, because even if he doesn't have a good laning phase, which I find it unlikely that 33 will have a bad laning phase, he's still such a massive impact later on in the game.
I have a different question for you, Lizard, though. I want to know, like we heard Winter talk about this, when you're having last pick, you should have the strongest hero in the game. When you're having first pick, you should have the strongest lanes in the game. Do you think that is the case with this specific draft?
It depends how you draft. They drafted a little bit differently. In the second phase, they got Morphling instantly, and it's Aster that has the strongest overall pick, even though they didn't really last pick it.
Okay. Just a Morphling.
Yeah, just a Morphling.
In that case. And Alliance is prepared for it well enough?
It looks that way. This draft from Alliance looks better than anything I've seen so far from
Okay.
them, but Hansken has a lot of work to do.
I'm hoping on it, because that will make the game all the more exciting. A lot of work to do for both teams. Let's see who takes the lead here in this best of 5 grand finals, and head over to Toby and Kyle.
You know, I love that very positive angle that Shiva can take on this. Who's going to take the lead here, Kyle? Who's the one that gets to put the right foot forward and actually step off the mark? Alliance, the panel seems to like their draft. Of course, we were actually leaning a little Aster way.
Yeah, I love the DP pick. I think this is probably what tilts it for me. One of the harder counters to TA in the game. Used to be a little different because TA was just a much stronger laner when the refraction could function on denies, so you could abuse her in the laning phase. But even if you buy BKB, the ghosts just deal with your refraction almost immediately. And before BKB, the drain does a piece of damage every 0.25 seconds. So you lose your refraction in the blink of an eye. And you also can then just naturally buy armor and build yourself to be tanky against this sort of damage. And if you look at Alliance, they don't really have any magical burst. So it's just buy armor, get HP, and effectively you're just not going to go down. The silence also super good against heroes like Omni and Rubik.
So I actually want to address this, because this is something I think we saw from Alliance's Ricky when they played against Aster during that Winners Bracket semifinal, is the amount of damage output that can come from Nico. Like, maybe we talk about itemization a little later in the game for him, so just want to keep like a 10-minute marker on us to come back to that point. But like Ricky as well as TA, have they got enough damage to get through Aster? Alliance in their last series, like, they played 3 hugely tanky people past the 60-minute mark, and they were able to win. But DP, Morphling, very difficult to actually just damage through, and then the puck is a very versatile escaper for XSS. So
It definitely feels like Alliance need to play more of the guerrilla style warfare, right? You need to abuse map control, get towers early and try and take over enemy woods, have the Riki TA sweeping around the map, and use GA to disengage anytime Aster pops their big ultimates, specifically the DP ult. You run away from it. Problem is that Morph inevitably out carries in this game, and the team fight and catch from Aster is still pretty high. You have a puck next, they're going to be hunting at all times. So I think Alliance really have the onus on them to make things happen fast, but you know, anything could happen.
I love how you can get an onus in just like Alan can get a panel in at a grand final. Aster, Let's see how these lanes do really play out. A Courier barely surviving up on top. Nico's trying to reach it, and he's actually going to. So that's our first blood, even though Nico has to cop a couple of tower attacks for it. Also found that Blink Strike doesn't let him disjoint the damage from the tower, so he actually copped a lot more than probably wanted to.
Yeah, no salve up yet. Yeah, okay, Fado will use one on him, so he's just fine.
Fun warding from Aster. Like they instantly went up towards the top lane and put down both an Obs as well as a sentry ward, one blocking the pull camp, but the other one so they can keep an eye on the tower. So even if you do de-ward the observer ward, you won't unblock that camp with the sentry ward. Just a small thing they did it, and they did it straight away too. There was no delay.
You don't want Hanskin to show up and get a couple kills, because Riki's one of those laners where if you fall behind against him, he just starts slaying you, especially as heroes like Puck and Nyx. So you need to be able to maintain equilibrium up here. Thus, they got to make sure it's always 2v2 so they don't get picked off.
No, so no surprise Rubik's.
And bottom, I think it's tough though. Like you'd probably love to try lane this as Alliance and secure Nico free farm, but Morph versus Ami, you can't leave 3-3 on an island, because then SCCC gets a couple of Wraith Bands and suddenly he's getting every CS and deny. And as we said, Morph is the problem, especially when SCCC is on it. And I gotta say, I've been really impressed by Aster. Goes without saying they haven't dropped a game, but Alliance definitely turned it up a little bit today. So I assumed coming into it we were gonna have a 3-0 Aster wins, no problem. But I think Alliance has a pretty good shot at taking at least a couple games here.
My money was more closer towards a 3-1. Still in favor of Aster, but
I gave him a game.
It's still like it's just like they deserve it. Like you got to keep in mind, Aster haven't lost a single game during this minor, not one. No one's taken a game off them, so they've looked fantastic. But Alliance need to really pressure them. They need to get on top. Need to do a lot more. This work for this man here in mid lane, Limp. It feels like for Alliance to get the upper hand against Aster, they need Limp to go off. They need his early rotations to work, so Nico can get the farm to get the big item to actually do some damage, and then the momentum of Alliance can just move forward. But you're right, they're ticking time bomb bottom lane. It's SCCC's Morph. Like, how are they really going to deal with him as the game goes late?
I mean, mid's going pretty well for them. 15-6 versus 12-3. It's certainly TA favored, but I mean, this was so much worse as well when you were doing more damage with the side blades on denies, because you're hit hard. Concern is, I don't know, we'll see. It's about the level 6. I look at the tower pressure. Alliance doesn't really have any, whereas Aster have this really easy DP to play around. Like, hey, his ult's up? All right, let's collapse on mid tower. And what do you really do if there's a Puck and a DP just standing at your tower?
I suppose you stand and fight.
It's just easier said than done. You don't really have any hard initiation either. It's an Ogre or a Riki kind of just running in, hoping for the best.
Yeah, maybe that's just when you see alliances as it's the way the Omni Knight you play around the Omni Knight. Like, you get your team fight items up, you get a little stronger on that front, and you're going to need to, because on top lane, that's Fade trying to get a little bit of extra space. They're really trying to get on top of XSS. His CS is 20-4 right now. He's actually got more than the Morphling as well. SE-3 just lost his Courier on bottom. That's not a terrific thing, but if Puck Dream coils and you've got the Death Prophet ulti out, it feels like Alliance just have to stand and deliver, but that's where the Omni Knight really does pick in with a GA. Because then how much damage do you do from your Exorcism? Doesn't look as great.
And top lane, Fada's just smacking XXS. This is where this lane gets more difficult progressively for the Puck specifically, because he's just too squishy, and the Riki Ogre just run at him. You already have the raindrop up on Nico. He understands. He's really just trying to not take nukes, and it's very effective against both of these heroes up top. Limp is on top. Limp's just manning up against the DP. Is he going for the bottom? No. A lot of TAs, no one on TA is going bottle anymore. I like this change. This is how it used to be. You just hit that faster timing, and once you have a couple Wraith Bands, a Blightstone, and boots, you can jungle very efficiently. It makes sense. And yeah, this is the thing though, you give away the rune to Chuan, he's just going to bottle that invis up top for free. Full bottle ×2.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Which means easier spam against the TA. And you're right, like, what does he do? He walks uphill, throws out a Spirit Siphon, and instantly removes the defensive refraction charges.
Yeah, I expect Limp, he's going to just run over and start to jungle, it appears. He's going to be 6 soon. But the problem, and this is again why I love the DP versus TA, because you have the Drain functions as both a slow, so it's a semi-disable, but it also removes refraction always. So even if you have a second one up, it's just gone again in a second. So you just need a little bit of lockdown, and the TA is in trouble.
That's an interesting point when you flag the fact that T doesn't have a bottle. This has to be one of the first 5-minute timings when the mid lane isn't moving just a little off to the side for the Diet just to pick up that bounty rune. It's still sitting there after 40 seconds. And then they try and attack in towards mid. Fade doesn't get the right timing. The Observer Ward did just time itself out. I don't know if I caught a glimpse of Fade coming in.
I believe it did.
Yeah, that'll work.
Now Limp's going to just do some of his own stacking. Hanskin's going to go check bottom rune. There's already a trap here, but there's an Invis. They have detection? No,
yeah, Rubik's rotating over. I think he wants to have a kind of play here, but then again, Exorcism is up, and you've got an Invis rune. So DP just needs someone to hold him there, and Fade's going to do exactly that. Limp on the run back underneath the tower. The Fairy Fire will not give enough life to survive.
Yep.
And Chuan spills, or drills, first blood.
All he needs is stun, and it's very ambitious. I'm shocked Alliance made that play because there's no value for that rune, and he had an invis, you have no detection. There's no opportunity to get a kill there, and as we just saw, of course, like, wait, Hanskin? You're, what? Guys, that's a DP.
Little uncertain because the ulti is still up, and they're still forcing the tier 1 tower. And meanwhile, on bottom, 33 being hunted down by 3 players of Aster. I actually kind of like this from Baboka. He actually skipped the Fire Snap Cookie to get one little point up and Little Shredder. Just to slow down 33 at the start of this engagement. They're going to finish it off with SE-3 hitting that last hit.
So far, so good from Aster. They're just playing clean. And that was an excellent usage of the first DP. Also, I can't believe they got first blood 6.5 minutes in. It felt like the start of the tournament, these games were full of action, but a lot of Aster games do seem slower. Not as many kills on the board, but you got to feel like they're always the ones that are comfortable with it, right? They are the squad with the Morphling.
And, well, they hit the right win timing.
Yeah.
Like the first series when these guys played, 2 games, 1 hour and 10 minutes total gameplay time.
Yeah.
That's all you got out of it. These games didn't drag on. Alliance had more time in game 1 of their lower bracket match against Gambit.
I just really love the way they itemize as well. It always just makes sense. SCCC kind of plays whatever morph is needed. Sometimes they'll rush the E-Blade. This game,
Morbid
probably
Mask.
go for the treads Morbid, exactly. Get beefier, because he knows he'll have to fight a little early, right? Or at the very least, defend his towers. Because if you do that, Aster's going to feel very comfortable as the game continues. So probably see like the Mask of Death into the Yasha. Manta's really good as well, just plus armor, right? As long as you have armor HP, you're just not going to die. At a point, you get a Scotty, and suddenly Alliance just throws themselves at you, and most likely won't be able to take you out. Bottom rune, is Hanskin going to beat him?
No. That Death Prophet is faster by about 30 movement speed.
Yeah. Rune's up in 15 seconds, and I love this DP hero, man. Mid tower already at 750 HP.
Exorcism is off cooldown in 10 seconds time, so yeah, he'll come again. Probably another reason why Fade's hanging around, but Aster hasn't done anything about trying to remove the Observer Ward from the hillside. So always fighting underneath Observer and Sentry. They've got 2 sentries actually layered, so if it comes from the north or the south, they'll find it. Yep. And they drop a sentry underneath the tier 1 tower.
Yep. Just want to make sure there's no traps here, because you're just falling into this tower. And I don't, again, what does Alliance do here, right? You can TP, is that the Riki? Yeah, but
Baboka's right behind it. There's your Riki jumping in, puts up the smoke screen right on top of Fade, but then a quick cookie gets Fade to jump away to safety, and you're still underneath the Exorcism. This is Alliance fighting into the DP ulti, and XSS able to get the leash, but only on 1, only on Fada. Probably would have really preferred to get Nico with that too.
I love the way they play this, because they start with just the 2. If you can take this tower for free, you will. But because Alliance rotate in, they just bring more numbers. And as long as you have an equal number of players and your DP ult is active, there's no way Alliance can fight into you. So just the right way to play this. And if that coil is just a little bit closer, then that actually is a kill on Nico as well. But he escapes. And yeah, Limp is going to farm in the jungle, get a Deso as soon as he can. But the concern is really just the lack of ability for this team to make plays right now.
Yeah, well, you're going to lose Hanskin. Under where the tier 1 tower used to be, it's just Siphon after Siphon with an extra stun from Fade.
Yep.
And I'm also keeping an eye on the bottom lane. Like, you talk about this battle happening underneath the tier 1 tower, underneath the DP ulti. Without GA, you don't really stop this. And 33, that's an optimistic kind of hit. He'll get the Morphling to TP and at least burn it. He didn't complete the TP off the bottom lane.
Radiant are scanning.
I suppose that's a slight economical advantage you just got.
Yeah, it's looking good so far for Aster, and yeah, they're pretty cool with this, right? And this is one of the reasons I love DP. You just kind of play around your cooldown, and it's like, hey guys, I got ult. You want to go push the tower? All right.
Sure.
And if not, hey guys, I'm gonna farm for a little while. Everybody chill. And if you look at Aster's positioning, right, all 5 of them, different areas of the map, just farming up. Alliance looks like they're going to coordinate and assault bottom.
Yeah, they have a
Nico's
DD
here.
rune. They really want to find someone for this, but they walked underneath the Sentry Ward, and the Radiant Observer Ward does seat around the the tree line,
Radiant
so it doesn't catch anybody out. Aster's already backing up to Ancients to farm.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yep, it makes sense. You don't want to fight into this full rotation without your ultimate active. It's up in 7, but again, they're the ones that are playing for the late game. It's Alliance that have the impetus. They need to make the moves. A tribute shift stolen by Hanskin. Good discipline from SCCC. Always do a little quick toggle after you wait for him. It's one of the best spells for a Rubik. Oh,
Man.
goodness.
Yeah, one of us gets us flying forward. Omni Knight, he needs extra life, but just unable to break free.
Wow, that was pretty easy. They just defend the tower. Snapfire Dota. And nice teleportation. You get DP still just farming top. We'll have a Yul's completed soon. And
So-
they repel Alliance with ease.
So Alliance are meant to get a trader for the towers. They're meant to be tier 1 for tier 1 tower. Yeah, at least Fada. Yeah, denial on top also makes things.
Yeah, they denied mid as well. We got to mention that. But they did. They removed the gold completely from those objective pickups for Aster. You can see the line being drawn. I'm not sure what it is SCCC is looking to do. Possibly, oh, that's his farming pattern. Cool, he wants to go push up top. That makes sense because, as we've discussed, you know, if you're Radiant, often you want to have your hard carry in the top part of the map, vice versa for Dire. So SCCC wants to try and start pressuring this far area of the map. Even if you go down there to a 2-4 hero rotation, then your friendly objectives are far, far away. That's no big deal. They have that with Prophet Ultimate up. He's got an Invis. Almost level 10. One of the better level 10 talents as well. 40 damage. Represents, you know, close to 3,000 gold. No big deal.
Sure.
After XP and gold talents were removed, I think damage is just by far just still super broken. Like, it's just too good. It's also why I like that he went for the treads, just for the little attack speed bonus bottom.
It's something I've always found out in Dota. There's always something for a player to complain about with what's broken. That's a nice triple stack for Chuan to farm up, just pushing him closer and closer towards that Yule set. Now only 100 gold, 13 minutes in, so very difficult for Alliance to even get a lockdown. Like, normally you see DPs with like Oracle, another great hero that's been throughout this tournament, but they just want to get him on the front lines and survive. There's the better way. Limp caught inside the Dream Call. The Suns from Fada won't really do anything, and one of his kisses from Baboka sits on the back lines, just firing forward, and they didn't even have to burn Exorcism.
Nope. And look at this, though. What was the key there is that SCCC was already shoving up top. So he runs away from his team as they make this big coordinated effort mid. And they also get vision. It's just really complete movements from Aster. It's why this team hasn't lost a game. They're thinking in 4 different places at once. So, yeah, sure, it's just a kill. But it isn't. They just got a ward. They killed a ward. Their carry got 1,000 gold worth of space. And they killed the enemy hard carry. It's just wins all across the map. They will lose their bottom tier 1, but no one even in really that half of the map, so they have no issues giving that away. Nico Baby will have his defusal soon, just the recipe to go, but he's got to kill stuff. I just don't see them able to fight into Aster's team, and that's going to be the concern. It's 7-0.
But we haven't felt it yet either. Like, we're talking about this game from like a point where Aster, you're in control. These are the objectives they're taking. It's going to be fantastic all across the map. Four types of ways they're playing this game of Dota.
Look,
but Alliance, you always have to wait until they show you what they're ready to do. Like,
but that's the point.
The Templar Assassin's getting has Deso. The Ricky's going to have Defusal. The Vlads will be up on the Omni Knight. Then they're ready to fight, right? This is when they will show you what they've got, and then you can decide if it's good or not.
I mean, look, there's no bias here. I'm just calling the game like I see it. And I'm telling you right now, Aster's in a really damn good position.
This is a smoke up, looking for the puck as well. A quick little silence, and XSS gets completely nuked down. Baboka straight after it. Limp has the double kill, and they want to go straight into Roshan. Both these heroes have buyback, and they at least get the buyback out of Baboka.
Now, this is what Alliance is looking to do, to your point. They get these core items up online. You want to find kills around the Roche pit and go for this objective. However, you can't fight Aster. And this is the concern, is that they need those pickoffs. They need to do that 4 or 5 more times. Because taking a team fight's not going to happen. You need to get picks into objectives. The difficulty is that Aster's just effectively in a position where if they don't make mistakes, they should win the game. And it always feels uncomfortable.
But you called at the start, like, Alliance have to play guerrilla Dota. Like, they have to do these hit and runs. They can't fight the British Army head on, fight them in the swamps, fight them around the thick grass fields.
The big spike will be, as you said, the Deso Defusal timing. They have the Deso. I think Defusal's coming out. It is indeed. And then the next big one is the BKBs. Aster, they're smoked up.
Oh, they're right next to Nico,
Hello.
baby. It's nighttime. All right, into a trick to the trade. A quick little jump away. The courier was coming in too. They've got the dust and Cookie stuns. Nico will fall. He did complete the diffusal blade. That's what flew in on the courier. So it's a good pickoff for Aster to take.
Yeah, I love, and again, the movements of STCC, right? He's showing top, just shoving away, because since his team is missing, he represents that maybe they're behind me. But the moment this kill occurs, more inexperienced player perhaps goes another wave, potentially gets picked off. He just TPs mid, now recognizing that top is unsafe. His bluff will no longer be called.
We have the double jumps available now. This one's from TA with a blink dagger coming on the courier. The other one's in the hands of the puck. So quick initiations, as we've seen from Alliance before, they can also, if they can get a good smoke screen off, the puck has real issues. And that's why you're seeing Yule Scepter as the second item she's looking to build into. Or he. I don't actually remember the gender of puck.
Yep. Juwan, I love just the little details, man. He's even carrying a casual ring of protection. And I think he... Yeah, he's going to go plate mail straight after Yule's. This is one of the old school builds. Yule's plate mail into sometimes it used to be Bloodstone or casual Ring Booster, Heart maybe.
Real trouble. Caught inside the smoke screen. The Observer and Sentry helped him out. Able to phase shift quickly. 33. A little bit missed timing on his attack, but it won't matter. Before the jaunt can happen. In fact, it looked like XSS just held off it a little bit.
A little bit of a miscue there.
Yeah. Probably didn't think you'd survive after the purification of 33, but it was just during that phase shift second.
Yeah, but again, slow game, 8-3, 17 minutes in. This does not seem like your usual Dota 2, but Aster games often look this way, but I can't blame them. Again, they're really not forced to do anything. You have a Manta up on SCCC, so that Diffusal's no longer a huge threat. He's just continuing to shove top. Plate mail complete. Oh, goodness, he got an Essence Ring on Chuan. That is so key. You have to kill DP to win the fight, right? And he's just making it progressively harder and harder. There's only physical damage on the side of Alliance. He's going to have the plate mail coming out in just a moment. And he'll have 425 HP on demand thanks to good old Ice Frog.
Limp's feeling the pressure up on top. There's mass TPs coming in from Alliance.
They're under vision, though.
Yeah, they're underneath that Observe Ward. And there's also a Meme Hammer on Nyx Assassin. He's ready to drop this when the timing is right. Quick take of the outpost.
This means that Puck can shove out bottom safely and still have the teleportation available. Nope, he'll actually just shove out middle. And I think they're going to look to take a fight here on these wards.
Well, if they can. Sentries are down. I think they could see it for a second, but Fire's going to hang around to attack it.
Yeah, they see on the ward from below, and just kidding, XXS takes it out. Control the enemy jungle, and then position around the objective. Dota 101.
Couriers. Yes, it's there.
There's definitely, yes.
One courier is not enough to check. We've got to send both Shag Bark as well as that little Krabby. I think give real props as well throughout this entire tournament just for Fada's play too. I know Winter was giving him a lot of praise, but Fada's vision game has really been on point.
To be fair, you're playing Ogre Magi all the time. You've got one head dedicated to casting your stun. You had a whole other one that can just focus on the warding. One of my favorite, one of a lot of people's favorite fives to play, 'cause it's very peaceful. It's like, do I add somebody to Bloodlust? All right, cool. I'll go ward something.
Oh wait, can I auto cast that stuff as well?
Those are the days. Oh, they don't even get the ward gold, unfortunately. It despawns just as Fada finally gets the space to come out and do it. An Arcane Rune up. So hey, let's pop our ulti and look about Roche.
Yeah, do Roshan, 30 seconds before the 20 minutes. Nyx Assassin just sits on the hillside, feeling very comfortable near his own sentry ward. He's a little bit further away from the Dire sentry, but man, this Roshan dies so quick. Alliance have no way to react to this.
Yep.
They're coming under the cover of smoke, but they're not ready to fight. And in fact, instantly turn around. They don't find the fight they're looking for, but maybe they can catch somebody. That's just fake Morphlings coming up the hill.
Aster not even going to look to pressure again. Hey, okay, guys, DP ult down. 60 seconds. We'll do this again. And Alliance are still looking at... This is potentially a window. They know that ult had to have been used if Roshan died, and they want this mid tower desperately. This opens up the bottom half of the map for them. They've got the blink on the TA with the Deso, but you really want to go for this DP. You don't have many disables, and he has a Yules.
Well, they put the easier target on the front lines. The Omniite with the 20 armor.
Look at the positioning from Aster as well.
Limp will attack from the trees. Finally, the tier 1 tower is fortified.
Yep.
Puck's already left. Like, he's not even actually here. Like, XSS has gone all the way north.
Yep.
So you have to TP in after the fight begins, and this may be the time. Fade lands the stun, looking for the meme hammer. Stun back himself at 33. Needs some more time. He just can't survive. Bo5, I thought this stuff was meant to be nerfed, but it's still so strong. Omnite is down, and Rubik Hanskin caught well away from the rest of his cores.
Yeah,
in fact, his cores just left. It's like, we don't have our BKBs yet. Like, both the Ricky as well as the TA do not want to fight.
Yep. And this is where I kind of want to echo that Sep quote about, I know it's only 4K gold, but that is not advantage in Dota. Advantage in Dota is around timing and the overall strength of your squad. If you can't, at this point, I don't see how Alliance ever team fights Aster, even with just a 4K gold lead. As long as they continue to do what they've done, place your cores in front of you, make sure that they're the ones that would actually hit Alliance or potentially be hit by the TA blink-in. Supports can casually cast spells from the back end, play around your vision. It's just a casual stroll for them thus far. They're following the script. Alliance have to find some weird sort of magic here, and I don't know what that'll be. But you might get BKBs, sure, but even then, Morph DP do so much damage. They're just going to smack you. You can't fight into DP ultimate.
But with, like, maybe their timings. Like, I know I'm kind of bumping this a little bit because it does feel coming into the series like Aster are the favorites. Aster have been playing superior Dota, and no one has taken a game off them just yet. So I'm leaning more towards the avenues Alliance have to work with. But with GA, with the BKBs, with this immunity, just how much does Aster have in the tank to have continuous fighting?
A lot. I mean, they've got plenty of guys. The concern, I think, is more of what Alliance's draft is one-dimensional. It's effectively 2 cores that both do raw single-target physical damage. That's the strat. And you don't have any real team fight. You don't have the greatest initiation, and you're going to have a fodder for a second.
Oh, fodder. Oh, CCC, miss. Here comes your spittles. And Bo5 looking for other targets. Won't happen. SECC will take the kill on fodder and the tier 1 tower on bottom lane for good measure. And already hunting. Fade, hoping to find a target. He's underneath the Dire Sentry ward. Hence, what's just a quick backup.
They have a DD on their Death Prophet. He's just... They might just go high ground, Toby. Maybe E-Blade and Aegis still on the morph
and
for
a level 2
half.
exorcism up, sure.
They just glyph too. Yeah, I think you could just straight up go high ground if you want. And also, Chuan, I swear, this guy is the Essence Ring professional.
Hanskin, you do not want to be here. He's Fade, hit Cookie. Oh, too far away. And now, Hanskin gonna reveal him, gets the information as she steals Vendetta. That's not too shabby. With the Fade bot, hold him! Jumps in and he hits him with the side blade spill.
Nice play.
Fade will fall, and that's that gorilla hit and run, even in front of your own home. No one will ever suspect you'll kill someone in front of your own home.
That was really good play, and that you got to make those sorts of risks.
And now they group up for a smoke underneath the tower. Actually, do they have one? No, they don't. It's 4 heroes together. Like, what's your play now? Like, you've got Nyx down.
I mean, you get
it's vision. They're just doing vision now. Regain control of the map. Finish the BKB for the Ricky.
See, Nico Baby has been very, I mean, really, all of Alliance has been quiet, but Nico Baby typically has way more game impact by this phase, but thus far, really unable to get much going. In fact, he just fell behind the puck in net worth. A lot of this is the luxury Aster have of being able to split push easier. Another issue with the Alliance lineup, their wave clear is rather limited. It's effectively just the TA that can clear waves efficiently, whereas all 3 of Aster's cores can just snap them down in 2 seconds or less.
Yeah, unless Hanskin can steal something nice, like then he'll be able to clear a wave, but that's all. Smoke up now from Aster.
We got a Shiva's coming out onto the Death Prophet with the Arcane Ring. Or sorry, Arcane Rune. And yeah, just go hit towers, right?
Yep.
Aegis is going to fade, but they still feel strong enough. They scan out the high ground positioning, and look at how they move, right? Keep cores in front. Side laners, support,
BKB, they want to try and fight. They found their target. A quick cookie jump away, but my god, SECC just gets evaporated. Now they can focus over towards Chuan. They have to bring him down and get rid of this exorcism, and they can do it pretty fast. He's stuck inside the trees. Defensive Eul Scepter. They have to trigger the GA. Finally getting that immunity from the damaged Meme Hammer. Dropping on Templar Assassin. No way for Limp to keep the attack going. He's backing up. Silence and on the run without the BKB timing. They don't feel as great, but Nico Baby can keep on going. Another strike available, and they're finally going to bring down the raid boss. 4 heroes from Aster have gone down. You said they couldn't team fight the Alliance. They've been waiting for this right opportunity, actually almost layering their ability beautifully.
That whole fight is Hanskin. He steals the DP ultimate. He ends up doing almost the most damage on his team thanks to that stolen ability. That straight up changes this fight. It's the only reason that you have this, the damage to actually burn down this DP. And you can see the problem, like, first off, they kill the Morphling immediately. I did not, obviously not expect that amount of damage, neither did SCCC. And right there, already Exorcism is rocking from Hanskin.
And look at Limp. Oh my god, like this whole fight's amazing, but back live, Alliance have pushed down the mid lane. They've taken tier 2, they've taken tier 3, and they're taking the melee racks. You've even had now another Dream Call out, Fade dropping the meme hammer. Ricky is low, but they've got the extra heals, and now Fade just explodes. SEC is back here to fight. He'll E-Blade pop down Fada, so some rebuttal. Omni Knight, you're septed up as well. Everyone else is TPing away, so 33 will take it for the team, but you just pushed down mid so fast and took the melee racks. 26 minutes in, it's Alliance who spill the first building damage of inside the base.
It's shocking to me. I mean, credit to Alliance, right? They won the fight the only way they really could, immediately blowing up the biggest core on Aster. But I'm shocked that rather than push bottom with Aegis, they make this push middle without, right? Because there was no item they picked. Like, Morphling bottom had Manta and E-Blade. The only item he had grabbed was this casual ultimate orb for that mid push. Why not just go for the tier 3? Take that fight with the Aegis on Morph. It's a hell of a lot harder for Alliance to win that engagement. But yeah, credit to the boys. And you know, you're welcome to all the Bulldog fans in chat for supplying one of the stronger caster curses, because honestly, I thought
hey, I wasn't cursing anything. I was still waiting for Alliance to at least show me what they've got, and that's exactly what they did.
Hey, but they're going to need to do that again, and it's going to get more difficult. That was the BKB reveal for both cores. You need to do this. This is how you will win a fight against Aster. Either the Death Prophet or the Morphling has to be immediately killed. The fight now becomes 5-on-4. This has to happen at least once, probably twice more for Alliance to take the game. And really nice usage of the GA there by 3-3. This is the window where you can actually go toe-to-toe with the Death Prophet during Ultimate.
Yeah.
Because
I also liked how he waited. Like, the DP ulti was running for a good 10 seconds before he's like, I will now trigger this. Like, and that's why I was asking the question before the fight began, like, how much does Aster actually have in the tank to keep on fighting after you lose someone like a Morphling? Like, where is the rest of the damage going to keep coming from? It's not going to come from Puck. He put a Dream Call on 2 heroes at the back of the tier 2 tower, and they just stood there. They were okay with that. So where is that damage to follow through with? They're looking for a target, observers and sentries, smokes coming out from Aster, and Nico Baby's already triggered it.
They have a sentry down. They saw him. And you got to be a little cautious here if you're Aster.
Each team playing underneath Ob Sentry vision. Like, it's so smart from both these sides. But what does Aster do? Okay, well, I guess they go up the mid lane. You got a double damage room Morphling. You want to take a fight, but I guess you got to take a tower.
Yeah, Limp already has the trap set up too. This is really nice. He's going to be able to clear the wave.
Well, they're looking on traps clearance. Hanskin nearby.
They've got the ward sentry this time. You got to be careful if you're Alliance.
So it's really, at the end of this, it's a tier 2 for a not tier 2 trade. They haven't finished the job. They could deny it and make it yet another tower that doesn't get to go the way of Aster. Sure.
And this is anybody's game. You can feel it get a little more tense in here as well. All of a sudden, Aster not playing with that same just reckless confidence that got them burned in that mid-fight.
Wasn't it Alliance as well who were the ones saying, like, we don't have the confidence. We're doubting ourselves when we come into these games. But to make a play like they did in mid, like, oh, we just won the fight. Let's just go, boys. Like,
it's going to be Roche.
We're going to be aggressive. If you're going to beat Aster, we're going to play a different kind of play.
Yeah, and the next move is going to be who can control this pit area. 30 seconds on the Aegis spawn. You got to be really aware of this as Aster, because if you just go a couple seconds slow, you know, this is a TA with Deso and the meld armor reduction talent. So you're going to burn through this Roche no problem. Got to be cautious. And there's the smoke once again. Aster looking to get an advantageous initiation. If they are the ones that pick the fight first, if you can stop, because it's the TA plus Riki burst potential that's necessary. They both have to go in at the same time on the same target. And again, their lockdown's a little limited. It's effectively just the Ogre and the Rubik that can provide stuns. So I'm surprised. Does anyone on Aster have a Force Staff? No, the Meme Hammer instead. Fade going for it next. He's like, all right, my bad, because that Cloud is the only is going to get his teammates killed.
Yep. Well, it feels like Alliance just waiting on the hillside for someone to walk in. There's a sentry ward down. I think they saw Fade for half a second. There's a Gem of True Sight on Fada, which is kind of funny considering how fast he's been blowing up.
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to be the best target for it, but Spider Legs on Rubik makes a lot more sense. And the Bloodthorn totally done 30 minutes in. Now for Limp.
And notice what Nico Baby's going for. Nullifier, right? So again, they're going for the same target. They're going to kill that guy. That's the plan. And you need a Nullifier in this game because you're playing against the Death Prophet. You can take him out of the Yules. And the defensive E-Blade on Morphling lasts way too long. If you can immediately get rid of that, and all of a sudden, that's another surprise that perhaps kills one of these cores off before Aster has a chance to respond. Level 18 on the Death Prophet. They'll max out ultimate. They
She's
pop it
actually
right away.
going to burn the ulti. They're going to need all of that for the team fight unless they can kill Roshan very quickly. Morphling started up like just beforehand. And now Lim, he's going to put a quick trap in, get some information. Roshan very low, 1,000 HP, and they're going to let it happen. Alliance not feeling like they're in position, and rightly so. Nico is not there. He only just finished the Nullifier on bottom lane.
Yep. You're just not, you just can't fight the Death Prophet ultimate. That's the thing. It's one thing to burst someone down when they're caught sleeping, but if Aster is just, got their ultimate, they've created this fortified position that Alliance can no longer enter. They have to pick a fight on their terms, and that's what they're going to look to do. There's no DP ultimate, so you don't really care about the Aegis. You got to go find these picks. And they have the timing, right? Orc and Nullifier both active. You are not going to get any stronger, whereas Aster, few of their heroes are holding buyback.
They saw XSS, I think, for half a second. He's sitting on the hillside, ready to break the smoke. Fada has it broken on him as he sees nearby. They put the Observe Ward up, so they see one. But now the puck will also reveal himself. Hanskin jumping himself forward. Actually ends up only stealing the orb, but they've killed off the puck in the back lines. Nico Baby under the cover of BKB going ham. Fade. He jumps down with the blink strike to find that kill. Morphling, BKB. It's got another 3 seconds left. So it's a 2-for-1 trade-off, and Alliance getting the hunting that's looking for.
Yeah, XXS just caught sleeping there. Just,
He's like,
everyone from Alliance, he just blinks in, gets lifted, immediately obliterated. Fada pays with his life, but, you grab the gem, no big deal. Aster, this is actually how they don't want to start. Like, the only target you don't want to go for is the Ogre. Fada does a great job there. He has 2,700 HP. And he is a Bloodlust bot with a stun. You can ignore the hero. He wants to be the one initiated on. Look, that full combo, it does a ton of damage, but he's an Ogre. And then 2 shots, boom, they lose the puck. Fade also just wandering way out of position. These are BK beat cores, and he gets 3 shot himself. Really nice job from Alliance, but it's about finding the objectives. Can they do it is the question.
Well, they're taking the tier 1, and they should take the tier 2 tower on top. And thanks to the trade-off they were having when Aster were trying to push the mid lane, Limp was able to take the tier 2 tower on bottom. So this will remove all outer towers. But they're deciding to actually hold off the tier 2 on top for now. Like, Roshan's a long time away, so they're not waiting for this. Like, the only thing that's really left from that is the cheese on the Death Prophet.
Speaking of, you gotta be a little cautious if you're Chuan here. He has the cheese, but he wants to finish that BKB.
And the Aegis on the Morphling. He didn't lose that one. Fire strike forward. That's a huge impale stun. Fada getting hit. Nico Baby able to blink strike himself away was Limp, but he's trying to wait this out. Held by the Aghanim's Dreamcall, had no other choice. 33's TP will be successful. But that's 70 seconds without Nico Baby. He does not have buyback available. It's because he's short by 600 gold, and they might find a better target. Limp, he has to BKB and TP himself. That's the 7-second BKB gone.
Yep. That's the great equalizer right there. That Aghanim's puck coil. All of a sudden, TA Riki no longer have the freedom of their immunity to be able to just kill these cores. And as you can see, just the Scotty too, right?
Yeah.
Pops the Riki. They got somehow a double stun onto the Ogre. I mean, I was like, oh, you don't want to go for the Ogre, but if the Riki's standing on top of him, hey, makes a good target. Now you got DP ultimate. Maybe just go high ground. That's exactly what they're going to do. Still with Aegis for another 2 minutes.
They can fortify and potentially, like, this tower's taking forever to attack. Clean up the wave. The second wave just got skipped out by Hanskin. So even with this push, it's only going to last a little longer, but it'll last long enough. That melee Rax is gone. So the counter-raxing done by Aster, they want to back up.
Yep, no DP ultimate. Once again, Alliance perhaps look to get something done here. Only a 4K gold lead for Aster.
Yeah,
but it's
quickly into the side lanes.
Yeah, and they just immediately retreat. Alliance have to take some kind of risk. Make some sort of maneuver that Aster doesn't see coming.
Well, they're coming
it's easier
to the
said
north.
than done.
Limp's BKB just comes off cooldown. He's going Nullifier too. All the damage they can get out underneath the TA traps. That's where the puck just walked over. They really want to fight here. But Aster not getting caught. In fact, they're just grouping up.
Positioning is somewhat odd, though. Alliance are above them. The support's isolated at the moment.
They see Nyx jump in. Hanskin gets the pick up, throw back down again. You're going to remove that Nyx pretty damn quickly, as well as the Snapfire. Really caught in that too, but the Dream Coil, Limp, he just can't run away. Save for 33. There's no GA available. They can't stop all that physical damage. And wow, Fada. Well, I suppose that's probably the safest place you can TP out, but the Yule Scepter up. And Fada comes down to die.
That's... I'll tell you, Toby, this is going to get harder and harder for Alliance as this continues.
Nico's going to try and get the second gem.
He's going to grab it.
Because Snap5 bought that before the fight began.
Oh,
so he's able to actually steal it.
Against Ariki as well. That's so frustrating. It's like, God damn it, I have to buy so many more sentries now. In fact, hopefully he can. Look at how many are on the map, right? 6th place. They run out of stock quite quickly.
Yeah.
And with DP Ultimate coming up in 30 seconds, perhaps you just go for Throne here if you're Aster.
They might. There goes the Immortal will time out, so SEC loses the secondary life, but he has been threatened so far. Ogre will buy back. TA holding hers for the moment. There comes the Omni Knight. And a jump forward from Hanskin, able to get a quick pick up over on the Morphling. But Ricky wants his own target, the Death Prophet. Very hard to attack. E-Blade causing some problems, even snapping on the Dream Coils. Death Prophet's hanging around. 1 second, exits and back off cooldown, but the silence, he walked into the storm. But BKB, Lotus Orb protected, still not burning that ultimate. As Morphling waveforms out, Hanskin staying quickly with them. He wants a pick up. He's waiting for this BKB to wear off. Now it will on Death Prophet, but they just nuke out the Rubik. As Mortimer is flying forward, looking for extra damage into the tree lines, catching up 33 as well as Limp. He'll go up towards the air. Once again, we get that hold. Fada popping, exploding, and the Spike Carapace stunning Rubik on the back lines as well as the TA. Both do not have buyback, and now you go for the GG. In fact, you even get the call out from Alliance. They've been fighting so hard for this. They started to feel like they got the control of the game up, but Aster waiting for the right time to pounce, continue their win streak, taking game 1 in this grand final.
This has been the secret to Aster's success. They're in control of the win condition. If they don't make mistakes, they are going to win this game 99 out of 100 times. You had one big screw up, Alliance punished hard. They even get a racks off of it. But you're not able to take engagements that are not on your terms, that don't begin with you finding a kill. It's so hard to do this at this level of Dota 2. You're not getting Aegises, and you're not getting the fights that you want once Aster realizes, hey, let's actually buy a couple of Force Staffs, help our boys. I like the meme hammer from Fade there, but again, gods can bleed. Aster demonstrated they're not a perfect Dota team by any means. They went for that mid push without Aegis. They lose their Morphling. Alliance, though, back to the drawing board. I'd like to see a little more diversity in terms of how they can deal damage. And just TA, Riki, I want to see Limp and Nico Baby on different sort of hero styles. A single target focus on your 1 and your 2, especially when you both just do physical, not mixed damage, is very difficult to execute long into the game.
Yeah, I like how you point out the fact they can actually bleed. That one time that things went wrong was the only deaths that were recorded for SEC as well as Chuan. They died